Hello and welcome to Lizzie's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make a little no-bake Christmas pudding. Very, very simple, something that the children would love to make as well. This is great for those people who don't really like the traditional Christmas pudding, and as I say, it's no-bake, so really, really simple. But the main ingredients are 100 grams of chocolate, dark chocolate. Good quality chocolate is always better, so something that's got at least 60 or better 70% cocoa solids. Jamaica ginger cake, which you just buy, which is a fantastic ingredient. Some sultanas, some butter. I've got a little bit of icing sugar here. I've got some icing that's already mixed coloured, so we've got some white, some green and red. This is for the decoration to top them, and a little bit of booze. And I've got some cognac here, but you can use rum. But if you were doing it for the children, I would suggest probably just using some orange juice or apple juice. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got the sultanas here, and I'm just going to chop them up, because if you think, these little puddings are actually quite small, so the finer you chop the sultanas, the less obvious they are in the mix. It just makes it really moist, but you know, some children and some adults don't particularly like dried fruit, so this kind of masks it a little bit. So just give them a rough chop. You don't have to use one of these fancy mezzalunas, just an ordinary knife will do, but it's very quick doing this. So I've just given those a rough chop, and then pop them into a bowl. And I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of whatever booze you like, or the orange juice, as I say. So that's 1 and 2, and give that a little stir. Now ideally set that aside for sort of 20 minutes or so to just let the fruit soak up that lovely flavour. But if you haven't got time to do that, it's not the end of the world either. You'll still get the flavour. Don't overdo the alcohol if you're using raw alcohol in anything, because it's not being cooked out. It will have a very strong taste, so although it might be tempting to slosh a bit more in, it might just spoil the taste, so don't overpower it. I've got in here 75 grams of butter, soft, and I've got some chocolate. As I said, 100 grams of chocolate, so I'm just going to break that up. And if we just break it up a little bit more, it gives it a bit of a head start. I'm just going to melt this in the microwave. So I'm just going to pop that into the microwave for a couple of minutes. So I tend to do it on sort of half power. Okay, so whilst that's doing, I'm going to take my ginger cake and just unwrap it. Very sticky, and you find quite a lot of it actually does stick to the paper as well. But take a little knife and just roughly chop it up. The sticky bit is what makes it so good. I do quite a lot of things with bought ginger cake because it adds a really nice texture and flavour. So just chop it up really roughly to give us a bit of a head start. I'm going to check my butter and chocolate again. I put it on for 3 minutes in total, so I think that's about right. Okay, so you can just break up the ginger cake with your fingers so it's all like little fine crumbs, because what we're going to do is coat this completely with the chocolate and butter mix. So just break it up, you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, one final look at the chocolate, and that should be ready now, I think. That looks good. So it's nice. There's a tiny little bit that hasn't melted, so just give it a stir. There's enough residual heat in that. Okay, that looks great. Now I'm going to tip in our sultanas. You can use currants or raisins if you want as well, or any sort of dried fruit. You don't have to use sultanas, but that's what I had in the cupboard. So, and then I'm going to tip in the cake crumbs and give that a really good mix so everything gets covered with the chocolate. Okay, so that's our mix done. Now at this stage what you can do is pop it into the fridge it's quite soft, as you can see, so you could put it into the fridge to sort of harden up, but if you wanted to you could go straight ahead, and just now make your little cakes, little balls, little puddings. So all you do is take some of the mixture, roll it around, and then pop it into your little case. And it depends on how small your cases are, depending how many of these you'll make. That is quite a soft mixture, but oops, we're not going to worry too much because they will firm up. As the butter solidifies, it kind of holds the mixture together, but you get lovely messy hands. And it's all chocolatey and delicious. So what I'll do is we'll just make 6, just to show you how simple this is to do. So I've got here some coloured icing, and what I want to do is little holly berries and leaves, and I want a little bit of white icing for the top. So I'm going to start with that. If you just take a little bit, this is already, it's not ready rolled, but it's ready made. So you just buy it in the packet, and I've got some icing sugar here. It's good to work with the icing sugar. So we'll flatten that out a little bit. You can use a little rolling pin if you like. You can do it with your hands if you want, but it's kind of fun if you've got a little rolling pin. You don't want it too thick. And then take a little cutter and just cut out and pop that on the top, like so. Okay, so that's the white. Now I'm going to make the little berries. Just dab a little bit of water and pop the berry on. And it's up to you if you want to use 2 or 3 or however many. And then I've got a little bit of the green icing. You only need a very, very small amount because these are very small. So if it feels a little bit dry, just work it. It's almost like Play-Doh or plasticine, working with it. Flatten it out and then kind of make a sort of leaf shape. And you can be as artistic and creative as you like. Just a suggestion of a little green leaf. Okay, so there's our little 6, and I think 6 is quite a nice number because what I've got here is I bought some of these little bags that you can buy, little cellophane bags, and what I've done, I've just cut out a little bit of cardboard and covered it with a bit of tin foil because it gives a little base to the package. And pop your little base into the bottom, and then this just takes 6 perfectly, and it just keeps them nice and flat. And that's it. There we are. There's our little 6 little Christmas puddings, no bake, done in no time at all. In fact, here's some I made earlier as well. Enjoy!